All right, everybody, welcome to Bitten Apple TV. This is Marty Grabstein, the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I'm over here with Chantel, Ralph, and Leslie, and we're gonna start the show right now.
This is SistaSlayer here with the Bitten Apple TV in conjunction with It Came From the Radio, and we are at the Greater Philly Con here, and I am with the most wonderful woman. This is Sammy Castillo. I love her.
Hello.
She is also co-creator with her husband, Tommy Castillo. I just want to give my condolences first.
Thank you.
He's an amazing man. But we couldn't stop by with this beautiful display of all of you guys' art. It's just so amazing. How was the con here for you? Because every time I came out here, she was also very busy.
The con's great. We're local to this area, so I have a huge fan base. And, you know, when my husband passed away last year, this was actually the very last show he did. And this is such a great family show. It's an old school Comic-Con. They care about the artists, and the artists are the first thing that step in the door, and I'm second booth in. So I got a ton of traffic, and I love the fans, and I love the people. So this is one of my favorite shows of the year.
Yeah. She's amazing, you guys. You know, outside of the art itself and everything, she's an encourager. She is like the embodiment of strength. And I say that because, you know, she lost a loved one and it was her spouse, but yet she is keeping on. And I know that she's on Facebook right now, and you're encouraging people to say that most of the people that are coming here, she's encouraging them, which is a beautiful thing about it. But how is it that, you know, what is it about it that Tommy left for you that made you decide that this is what I'm going to do? I'm going to continue this. You know, I'm going to keep this out here for us and do what I need to do. Because she was telling me a lot of stuff, and we were talking about Tommy's stories yesterday, but just you know, what are you doing as far as people dealing with loss and how they can make it through it?
Well, you know, my husband was very inspirational. He changed people's lives, and he had a motto that you live life with courage and conviction, and he always believed to make things better, and live your dream and make life better for you and everyone around you. So, you know, the interesting thing was Tommy was really the first death that I had in my family, in my immediate family. I mean, my grandparents passed away, but that's, for lack of a better way to say it, that's something that's kind of expected. But in terms of my immediate family, you know, I still have my mom and dad, I still have my siblings. Tommy was my first real bout with death, so to speak. And the hardest thing is really getting over that kind of hump, and it really put into perspective life. And I'm 35 and I'm kind of having to start over because I had to take care of Tommy. And when people with loss come up and talk with me, I tell them that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Don't feel things that you think you should feel, and definitely don't listen to people who say things to you. People that experience death have very much an understanding, unspoken understanding with it. Like when you came up to me and you heard that Tommy passed, by your reaction, I knew someone immediately close to you had passed, whether it was mom or sibling or whatever. And when people don't experience that, they say placations, and it's like, oh, well, he's in a better place. No, he's not in a better place. The better place would be here next to me. Right. Exactly. So when people come up that are first experiencing death, I had a close friend who actually, I won't say his name, but he actually just recently lost not only his baby boy, but his girlfriend who was pregnant, both in, you know, there was a breach in pregnancy. And I was actually just talking with him earlier today about it. He's only like maybe less than 2 months out, and he's really having a hard time with it. And I told him, look, don't listen to what people say, because they only say things to make themselves feel better about the situation, not to make you feel better. It's to make themselves feel better about your plight. And ignore that and feel whatever you're gonna feel. You know, if you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like anger, be angry. It's okay. Give yourself the day, and then understand that whoever you lost would always want you to move forward. And my husband and I always live life out in the open with courage, passion, and conviction, and always moving forward. No matter how hard something is, you always get back up. And something my father-in-law, and he wasn't my father-in-law until after the man had passed away, but he always called my husband a grunt, because he could always take something and he might fall down, but he'd just grunt and get back up. And that's what you have to do, even if your knee is down. One of my favorite sayings is actually by John Wayne, and it's, you know, it's not how hard you fall, it's not falling off the saddle, it's getting back up and riding anyway. And that's what you have to do in life, because for lack of a better way to say it, we only have this go. And even if the person you lost was your husband, and I lost not only my business partner and my spouse, but I lost my soulmate. We were together 24/7 for 8 years. There was 3 days we weren't apart. So I lost everything when he passed away, but I gave him my word that I would move forward, and those were his words. Always keep moving forward, and that's what I'm going to do.
I think the greatest gift that he gave you as a husband is the strength and the courage to keep moving forward. I mean, it's the greatest testament of who he is in your life. You know, I mean, we were talking about the things that my mother said. My mother said, she told me that, you know, you've got 3 days. You've got 3 days when it comes to any type of grieving or whatever. She said the first day you could do whatever you want to do, cry, shout, do whatever you do, you know, have a drink. And, you know, second day do that. She said, but on the third day you have to get up and live, because that is what she gave you. That's what he gave you. So now that you're doing this, and this is such beautiful art and stuff like that, I just want to show everybody this tattoo that you have.
Sure.
So she, yeah. So she has a new tattoo, but I want her to explain what the tattoo is. So this is Tommy's initials right here, and this is the TC, and then this is Cthulhu. It took a lot of thought for her to do this. So tell me about the symbol, though, in particular.
So the Cthulhu was drawn by my husband, and it was actually his diabetic alert tattoo. And he had it on his forearm here, and where the TC is that you saw was actually the diabetic alert symbol. And then it had a banner that said diabetic, insulin dependent, and it actually did save his life, you know, toward the end. So I wanted something to immortalize my husband. I've got tons of tattoos. For instance, my first tattoo here was when I became his studio assistant. He did this for me, and he had he put a TC on it. And then I got another tattoo that meant a lot to me when we started dating and everything like that. And I told him to pick a flower. So this is actually his flower that he picked. And then when he got his diabetic alert tattoo, I also got this, which the circle is the diabetic support symbol, and then the TC, which is our company logo and his initials. So he made this joke to me that if I got the symbol tattooed on me a third time, he'd have to marry me, and that was before we were married, of course. So I thought I had to get a third one, and so I decided to do the diabetic alert, the diabetic symbol, and it was the second tattoo he had. He wasn't really a fan of tattoos, but when he was in his early 20s, he had pneumonia one night, and he had a fever dream, and the symbol, the TC symbol, was shining out of his back, out of his third chakra, which controls your creativity. So he had one tattooed there, which is why I put his TC in the same place, to kind of help embody the spirit of my husband, and, you know, have him help me with my third chakra sometimes.
Yeah, that's like a vision he had. I mean, a great vision at that. I mean, this is like my new latest superhero tattoo. I really love that. Where can we find you on social media and everything? I know outside of the art itself, which is beautiful and everything, I think you've been helping a lot of people go through. You helped me last night. So where can we reach you on social media? Where can we find you? Where are you going to be next? And, you know, where can we continue to follow you?
So I'm on pretty much all social media. You can go to TommyCastillo.net. It's my new store. It's continuously being updated because it's brand new. But you can find all the social media through that. I'm on Facebook under Tommy and Sammy Castillo Studios, or you could just look up TS Castillo Studios. Same thing with Instagram, TS Castillo Studios, or my actual personal Instagram, Sammy P. Castillo. I'm also on Twitter. I don't know what they are. I forget. I'm not really on Twitter very much.
Yeah, I think that's just like for people who really like to. You have to be very clever for Twitter. Not that you're not clever, but I honestly don't have enough time for that.
Yeah, I just, stalk.
No bad saying about Twitter. I mean, some people that's a gift for you, but it's not my gift.
And I also live stream 3 days a week when I'm home on twitch.tv, and you can actually find me under Castillo Studios. That's my channel, and I usually am on there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern to usually whenever. So that's a really good way to see me draw and paint, and then get to actually talk to me live. I sing a lot to bad music, and I curse a lot, which is against their terms of service. But so far, it's working for me. But you can contact me also. Tommy's social media is still up, and I like to troll people with Ghost Tommy. So that's a lot of fun. I troll the fans with his account on Facebook, even though it should be technically memorialized. So shh, don't tell anyone he's not dead. And we post wise words of wisdom, through Tommy's account as well. I like sharing his memories, the memories of the account and things he said, because for some reason they always kind of pop up on days that I'm feeling low. I'll get a memory that Tommy said these wise words, 6 years ago, and they're totally true right now. So what's next for me is I do Free Comic Book Day in Florida, in Newport Richey at Yancey Street Comics. Then my next convention is Motor City Comic Con in Novi, Michigan. After that, in June, I'm in Smallville. I'm at Smallville Comic Con in Hutchinson, Kansas. Then that was June. July, I'm at San Diego Comic Con. And then August, I'm at Gen Con, and from there it's a little bit all over the place. But locally to the northeast, my next show is in September at Baltimore Comic Con. But you can find my schedule on my Facebook as well.
Okay, we're definitely gonna follow Sammy. We love her a lot. And this is, this woman is amazing. Before you go, I just want to ask you, what is your favorite piece here that you have? Just one.
I love all my children equally.
Well said.
Right.
Well said.
Okay. If I have to pick one, I'd have to say, actually, it's my Pennywise. I'll show a small version. It's my Pennywise. It's actually just recent. It was originally done by Tommy in the early 2000s. It was drawn by Tommy. We were actually supposed to work with a comic book company and do Stephen King's It as a comic book. So Tommy actually redesigned him, and I only had the pencil work. And so I painted it recently after he passed. And the reason I painted him the way I did was in Tommy's early 20s, he was actually a certified Barnum and Bailey clown called Sir Bumpkin. And this is what Sir Bumpkin looked like. So this is probably like humorously, because I get such a visceral reaction from clown haters. They're like, they freak out and they run away from the booth. So I'd say just because I really kind of embodied the Castillo style with the painting, and of course, the artwork, I think this is my favorite piece for the moment.
I love it. I love it. This is, oh my gosh, that's amazing. This to me is a lot more scarier as Pennywise. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Let's follow Sammy. She's got an amazing life ahead of her, and we support her as family. So I can't wait to see what comes out of you next, girl.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Who loves bitten apple?
Oh, Kel loves bitten apple. I do. Ooh. The bitten apple, y'all.